welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing all right. I'm doing great, and as always, I'm so happy. I posted a particular picture on my Instagram. A lot of you have been asking for me to film a makeup tutorial on how I achieved that makeup look. Even here on my YouTube channel, I read all your comments requesting that I film that tutorial for you. So I've actually created the look. It's a very subtle, natural makeup look. It's my go-to everyday makeup. Even though I have a full face of makeup, it looks as though I don't have so much makeup on. So I'm going to go ahead and recreate that look for you. So stay with me as I show you how I achieve this natural look. So first step is to brush my brows in place. I like to brush it up following the natural shape of the brow. As you can see, my brows are not so full, so I'm going to fill that in. I like to use my finger to lift up my brow to support the brow, and I'm going to start filling it in with short strokes, following the natural shape as always. I like to follow the natural shape of my brow. That is the arch of my brow. Then I bring it all the way down. The thing about brows is you can make them as thick as you want, but in my case I like to make sure my brows are not so thick and boxy. I like it to look as natural as possible. So this is what I came up with, and I'm going to brush it in place using a spoolie. So once my brows are brushed in place, I get the concealer of my choice, which is this one, and a brush to clean up my brows to make it really neat and tidy. So I'm going to start from the inner corner of my eye, and I'm going to follow through, following the natural outline we've created. For my makeup, I like to start with my eye makeup. A lot of people like to do that, and some like to do their foundation, concealer and all of that first. This is what works for me. So the steps are just the same thing. You can follow through whichever way you fancy. This is just the way I like to do it. So basically, and for the brows, there are no right ways and there are no wrong ways. So I like to do my brows this way. As you can see, applying that concealer, it has actually knitting up all underneath the brow. So I'm going to ensure to blend well. I like to do that with my finger, especially from the start of the brow. So on the top half of the brow, I'm going to try and repeat the same step to make it really clean and neat. So I'm going to ensure to blend well. What my brow looks like. It looks so natural, right? So I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same step. So the next step now is for me to get my eye primer. I'm using this one from Mirror, and I'm going to place it on my lid, and I'm going to ensure to rub that in properly. The idea for using primer, just like the face primer, is to ensure that the eye makeup lasts longer, and it also prevents things like creasing of the eyeshadow. So I'm going to go ahead and rub that. Now I have my primer all blended well. I have my blending brush, so that's the one I'll be using to do all the blending of all the product. The idea is to blend and to blend and to even blend more. Blending is key to get the perfect result in any eyeshadow application or in any makeup application. So I'm going to start from the eye point of my brow. I'm going to apply some brow color onto my brow bone. It's going to make that place highlighted, and I'm using a matte one to start with, and the one I'm using is Toast. By the way, I'm using this palette from Sleek. This is what it looks like. It retails for $9.99, and you have the list of all the names of the color. So I started with Toast, and I'm going to place taupe on it. Taupe has a little bit of shimmer, and because light hits the brow bone naturally, I would apply that on the high point of my brow bone, and I ensure to bring it a little bit forward. As I go, I'm going to be blending well. As you can see, I'm going back and forth, back and forth. I'm going to get my pointed brush. It looks like this, and I'm going to go in with Regal. I'm going to use that on the outer corner of my eye. This is the outer corner of my eye, just below the brow bone color that we've applied, and I'm taking it 3/4 into my brow bone, and I'm going to create like a V with it as I'm going and blending. As I'm going and blending, so I'm using this on the below my brow bone and a little bit into my eye area. As you can see, all this area is empty, so don't worry, we're going to put in some color just on the outer part of my eye. As you can see, I'm blending well. I'm blending as I'm applying. So I'm going to get my blending brush that I used earlier on, and I'm going to blend that well in. As you blend, don't think that your eye color will be removed as you blend. As you can see now, I've almost created like a step from here to here. This place is very well highlighted. The top half of my brow bone is very well highlighted, and this part is dark. It's actually creating like a layer. It created like a smooth transition, if you like. So that's the highlighter done, and that's the other part of the eye. So the other thing I'm going to go into now, using a flat brush, lid brush, I'm going to begin to apply the color called Moss. This is what it looks like. It has a little bit of shimmer. It is gorgeous. It's a lovely, lovely shade of brown. So then I'm going to pack that on my lid. You can use as much. I like this color so much, so I just pack it on from the inner corner of my eye. I'm just patting it in, and I'm not blending this, so because I want it to pop, I want the color to be very visible on my eye. So as you can see, I'm doing this up to like 3/4 of my eye. So this area I've actually left. I'm going to go in with the other color. So as you can see, I've actually applied 3 shades on my eye now. I have the highlighted part, I have the outer corner of my eye, the transition color done, and for the outer V, I'm going to be using Neo. Neo is dark, so the blackest black in that palette. So I'm going to place that on the outer corner of my eye, just right here, and I'm going to be stroking it back and forth. I'm going to use that to create depth into the outer corner of my eye. So I'm using black. You can use any black shade, and I'm sweeping it back and forth to blend well. I'm sweeping it back and forth. I'm taking it inwards a little, not so far inside. I'm blending it with the other one, so there's a smooth transition. So you can make it as dark as you want, and you can make it as light as you want. It just depends on when I'm going to unravel for my transition color, the one I used earlier on, and my blending brush. I'm going to blend it well, everything all blended well. It's all about blending, like I said, blend well, even though I'm blending my eye color. The next step, I'm going to line my lash line. So I'm using a black, I'm bringing it all the way inside. This step is now optional. You can go ahead using that color I used on the top, on the lower lash line. Okay, so for the entire lower lash line, I'm going to use a darker shade of brown and sweep that there. Also, this step is optional if you want. And on the outer corner of my eye, I'm going to use that darker shade of black. Then I'm going to go back and apply mascara on the lower lash line. So that is the entire eye done. You can get a baby wipe to wipe off any errors you may have made on the eye. The other thing I like to do is to get a brush and get my concealer that we used earlier on and use it to create like a sharp line on the outer part of that eye to make it clean, just like we did for the brow. So you can see even with that concealer, it's creating a sharp angle, so that place is looking neat. And that's the thing with concealer. So with this one, I'm going to blend it back and forth. Normally I'm supposed to do this when I finish applying my foundation, but I'm just showing you now, so in case you are not using foundation. So basically, let's just finish the eye makeup. So you can see what I did. So the entire eye is done, brow bone done, transition color done, outer V color done, lid color done, lashes done. So that's the entire eye done, and that's what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and do this other eye off camera, then I'll come back to foundation application, mild contouring under eye highlighting, and I'll be back to you in a minute. One of the things I learned from Bobbi Brown is this. She said, rather than use your finger for your primer, use your brush, because the finger warms up product naturally. So you don't want your primer to I'm be going to use my primer, and the place I like to use my primer majorly is around here, because I have some pores here, and I apply that on the other area and my forehead, basically my T-zone, the areas of my face that are usually oily. So eventually I spread it all over my face. So, and the primer ideally would set up in say 15 minutes, oh pardon me, 15 seconds. So that's the primer done. As you can see, I've done this other eye as well, following the same steps. And like I said, it's all about blending. So I'm going to grab my foundation of choice today. You can use any foundation you like. A foundation that is almost full coverage. It's not Lancome Teint Idole Ultra 24 Hours foundation. I'm going to get a little bit that I need on the back of my hand, and I'm going to get a flat foundation brush and to apply my foundation. So the primer should be ready by now, and I'm going to start applying my foundation. So as you can see, I'm kind of doing it this way to even knitting up under the eye more. When you do your eye makeup, all other errors can be wiped off with foundation, and it will also cover up any blemish, acne. I usually don't use foundation on my neck. If you like, use foundation on your neck. If you don't know how to choose the perfect foundation for you, I will also link a video for you in the description box. Watch it and you can learn the simple steps to follow to learn how to choose the perfect foundation. So I have my foundation done on my entire face. You see this line here, this line under my eye. I just want us to cover it a little bit. I don't have so much dark circle under my eye. Let's just cover that under eye, that line under the eye. Just like the other thing, the eye makeup. The idea is blending. I'm going to do this in a V shape. It's going to also highlight under my eye in a very gorgeous way, and the idea also is to blend well. You can use any concealer of your choice. You can use the one you used to do I'm even going to use it to shape up my eye makeup even further. You know, I did it in a subtle way earlier. So I'm going to ensure to blend this well. I like to do it in a V shape. So that eye area is very well highlighted. You can skip this step if you like. It's not compulsory. Look, under that eye is looking brighter compared to the way it was before. So that's what concealer can do. If you need more, you can get more. You can use any concealer of your choice. By the way, the one I'm using is this LA Girl Pro Concealer, and this one is in the color chestnut. That one is in chestnut. So I like to bring that just gently on the bridge of my nose and also on my forehead, or the areas where the where light naturally hits. I'm going to grab my foundation brush and blend that well, the edges basically, so the highlighting effect is still visible depending on what you want, how you want it to be done. And the next step now for me is to grab my setting powder. For me, I use the Mary Kay setting powder. You don't have to do this step, is optional. I know a lot of people use the Sacha Buttercup or they use the Ben Nye banana powder. In my own case, this is what I use. This is what I like to use. That is what works for me. And I'm going to just continue to pat it in like that. I'm not going to pull or rub. I'm going to do it very generously, as much as I need. So I'm doing that patting system, and I'm following the natural highlighting shape that I've created already. So the thing about this powder, you can put as much. It may be looking over the top on camera, but don't worry, we are going to blend it all in. So I'm going to bring that also on the bridge of my nose very gently, and just on my forehead, the center of my forehead only. All right, so the next step now is I'm going to go ahead and powder my entire face, and my powder of choice today is this one. Everything I'm using today I'm going to be listing in the description box for you as always. So my powder brush, I'm going to use that just like I did the patting motion for that. I'm going to do also the patting style for my powder. I will ensure not to put too much on the powder brush. As you can see, I'm not touching that area yet. Don't worry, we are going to touch it eventually because we have to kind of blend everything well. I'm going to sweep off any excess and blend the entire face together. What I like to do, I like to grab a brand new brush, and I'm going to use it to sweep off any excess powder from my face, anywhere it is, especially the under eye. So let's start from the under eye and kind of blend it well. You know, like I said, it's all about blending, so I'm going to repeat that. So doing it gently will not remove your powder, it will not remove your powder from your face, and it's not going to make it too caked up. So the entire face is well blended together. Under eyes highlighted, is looking really nice and natural. So the next step now is I like to apply blush. I love my blushes. I just can't live without them. I just have to wear a little bit of blush. So my blush of choice today is this one, and I'm going to show you the simple technique I use to apply my blush also. So I have my blush brush, I have my blush placed on my brush. So a lot of people will say smile and they'll put the blush here. No, the blush shouldn't be here, because if you stop smiling, it's going to drop down. So I like to put my blush on the eye point of my cheekbone right here. As you can see, I'm patting it in like that so the product can stick to the skin. So when I finish, then I blend well. Then I can then bring it to the apple of my cheek. so it's not looking too rosy. So the idea still is to blend well. So as you can see, once I finish applying my blush, I like to follow with a mild contouring. For people who have very round face, you can actually create the illusion of a slimmer face by contouring your face. So this is my contour of choice today, is this contour palette. As you can see, I've dig deep into this one. So I'm going to get a little bit, and I'm going to place it on the oil of my cheek, which is right here. So suck in your cheek and place it right there. So that place is going to create like a halo, and it will make your face look automatically slimmer. Contouring powders can be a little bit harsh, so ensure to blend well. So basically from your hairline up here and bring it all the way down and blend. Light hits the cheekbone right here, so I'm going to add the middle one. The contour I place below the blush. So the highlight I'm going to place on top of the blush. So this is the eye point of the cheek. So I'm going to place, you can see I'm also patting that in right there. You can use as much, but ensure to blend well. I like to blend it really well to make sure that everything is not looking too over the top. Blend well, blend right well. If light hits that place, it will look really healthy and it will glow. Look at the brow bone also. Light is hitting it naturally and it's looking really nice. So as always, I like to grab my brush and blend well, so nothing is looking harsh. It's not going to take it off. It's not going to take it off. Don't worry about it. So blend well. The idea is blending well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same step for this one. The thing about that highlighter also, you can bring it down on the bridge of your nose. It gives it a nice highlighted effect. And don't forget, blend well. So that's the entire face done. We are going to move on to the lips. So in that picture that I posted online, which made all of you request that this tutorial, this Juicy tube was the one I used, and I didn't apply any lip liner or anything. I just applied the Juicy tube. So the eye is basically busy, although the lips can be busy while the eyes is busy, but I like to balance things up. If my eyes are busy, I keep the lips simple, and if my lips are really busy, I keep the eye very subtle. It's just to create balance. You can do whatever you like. So I'm going to kind of outline the outer part of the lip. Okay. And the other side. And the top. That Juicy tube is so lovely. It smells nice and it tastes really nice, but don't go about licking Juicy tubes. So if you like, you can go ahead and apply bolder lips like your gorgeous red lipstick. For nighttime, if you like, you can wear this kind of nude lipstick. Another lipstick I may recommend is this gorgeous orange lip gloss. It's absolutely gorgeous. Let me try and layer it on that one. Orange goes with brown because the eye makeup is kind of brown. So I just apply that in the center of the lip to create a nice ombre effect, if you like. So this is the finished look. Feel free to take off any steps you think is too much for you. You don't have to do as I do. You don't have to follow my lead. Do what works for you. Do what works for your lifestyle. Do what works for your personal style. As always, I just want to thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it, and I hope I was able to talk you through the makeup. If you liked it as much as I enjoyed making it for you, please give this video a thumbs up. Also feel free to share with your friends and family. It's all free. Catch up with me on all my social media. I'm on Facebook at mojintouch. I'm on Instagram at mojintouch. I'm also on Twitter at mojintouch. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and click the subscribe button down below. I love you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon on my next video. God bless and goodbye.